my mother. She was a very, very remarkable person for her age and stage. She grew up the youngest in a family of 10, and I think with her next oldest sister, they were clearly two of the brightest. The little town they grew up in, called Tels in Lithuania, it is a tiny town, but it is very well known for having housed a very prominent yeshiva. Her father was the local kosher butcher and part-time cantor in the synagogue. It was a life of, as he described, extreme poverty. There were 10 children in a 2-bedroom house, 1 bedroom of which was rented out to students at the yeshiva. It was extreme poverty, not, I think, in a world where they didn't have enough to eat ever, but they ate sort of the meat that was about to go bad, that couldn't be sold. And it was one which cash was almost non-existent. She grew up, I think, with understanding that she and her sister Pera, were sort of by far the brightest and had motivations and ambitions far, far different from the older ones. But her ambitions were not to get married and have children. Her ambitions were to go to university, something utterly unheard of. The local rabbi was indignant because his idea was a young woman should find a husband, go to work so he could study the Torah. Well, she and her sister went off from Tels on their own to the big town of Kovna, where they enrolled in the gymnasium, which is sort of it's a high school, but it is a cross between a high school and a college. And the two of them went off, basically kept body and soul together by tutoring younger students. And they would eat at the Jewish charity kitchens. And one day, my mother would eat the soup and bread, and Pera would have the protein, and the next day they would reverse it. And they would run out of money, and then they would be chased out of the school. She was lovely, affectionate, very strong-minded, very politically liberal in a world that was very pro-apartheid. She was highly educated, well-read, so, we had books in common. She was clearly the one who encouraged me the most in terms of reading and learning and studying and things like that, because that was her world.